Welcome to the Popish Plot. I'm Nate.
I'm Jessica.
And I'm Mike.
Today we're here with, I don't know, is this another saint tale? This isn't really a particular saint tale.
This is a viewer request.
Oh, okay. A viewer request.
But it's a viewer request with a theme.
That we may or may not have gotten right.
Our inability to pronounce foreign languages is on display here, as we're being asked to mispronounce words in Swahili.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
So what that tells me then is that we're probably discussing the Martyrs of Uganda.
You are correct.
Yes. Viewer
I look smart, but I actually read it off the paper.
Phillip Penna said that they would like us to try to say but slaughter Swahili next. So after checking where they speak Swahili, because it's an area that, countries versus where they speak it is not lined up.
It's not a strict geopolitical geographical region.
And, Catholic saints and blessed, I decided that we should try doing the Martyrs of Uganda, also known as the African Martyrs, because Swahili is one of the main languages of Uganda, and attempts have been made to make it the second official language. And there are a lot of people included in the Martyrs, so even if not all of them's names are in Swahili, because it's from a part of Uganda that's not the
We're
main
bound
language.
to find at least one or two that we can slaughter.
So, if every name is in one of the other local languages, like Luganda, Ganda, or, a few of them have English first names, we apologize and go ahead and suggest some Catholic-y thing that will require us to say things in Swahili.
But another point of view, another perspective is we're actually giving you more than asked for, because we'll be mispronouncing things in other languages in addition to Swahili.
And we may
You're
even
welcome.
we may even find some things in English that we just deliberately try to mispronounce.
I remember when I was in middle school, I didn't yet know the word debacle.
Yeah.
It's a funny word.
Debacle?
I'd seen it written, but I never heard it pronounced.
Debacle?
Yeah, something that was bad.
So it occurs to me, before we go too much further, that we should, of course, give our usual disclaimer when doing things like this. We are going to be, in this video, pronouncing words that come from languages that are not our own native language, that we have no particular training in.
Not even Duolingo.
And as a result, we will probably be mispronouncing things to the joy of some, to the scorn of others.
But it should be noted, at no point will we be deliberately mispronouncing anything. When we mispronounce, it's simply out of ignorance.
Unless, of course, we're mispronouncing words in our own language and just doing it for a lark.
Or
I
if
pronounce words in my own language.
Yeah. Or we put the emphasis on the different syllable.
Yeah,
Yes.
exactly.
Anyway, the story of the martyrs.
The story of the Martyrs of
great one.
Uganda. So in the kingdom of Buganda, which is now Uganda.
Well, it's a section that became Uganda.
Oh, it's
Like
now
three
in.
sections joined together.
I see
and
the word I
there's
missed.
overlap.
In the kingdom of Buganda, which is now in Uganda.
We're in that part of the 1900s that was known as the scramble for Africa.
Yep. Catholic, Protestant, and Muslim missionaries were all active within the kingdom. When they first arrived, they were tolerated by the king, but under the rule of Kanaka Mwanga II, there was religious persecution. This was especially high among the court pages, as rebuffing the king's sexual advances was seen as rebellion and disobedience by the king, who traditionally had the power of life and death over their subjects.
Yes,
It's good to be king.
Yes, there's depending on what source, some point out that, he essentially wanted his traditional power, which these foreign religions were removing. Some suggest the fact that he was totally a pervert and wanted to do it with all the guys in the court, and, most of the new religions were against that. Some have a bit of both, but in any case, it was, the king wanted to do whatever he wanted, and these new, missionaries were stopping him from having the authority he wanted.
Yes.
Whether it be pervy authority or in general.
Additional disclaimer, although I don't really think it needs to be mentioned because we're discussing martyrs and martyrdoms, there will be talk about, at least in general, not nice things happening to people who really didn't deserve what they got.
Yes. I very glossed over details. Any adult can,
Yeah,
kind of guess what's going
gonna
on.
keep this. We're gonna keep this relatively family friendly as much as we can. But at the same time, we are talking about people who are being persecuted because of their religious beliefs. Bad things happening to reasonably decent people.
Mm-hmm. So, at one point, the king demanded an oath of allegiance after finding out the pages were instructing other pages in the Christian faith. And all but 3 did so, which kind of confused him, because he figured, it would be a mix, and he'd just get rid of the ones that wouldn't, but they all, by and large, said, yes, we accept your rule as king. Most notably, Charles
Lwanga, who gave an answer much like St. Thomas More, that he would lay down his life for his king, but would not renounce his faith.
Mm-hmm.
I am ever the king's servant.
I die the king's good servant,
yes.
But God's first.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Also, don't cut the beard.
Seriously.
He was also known for protecting the other pages from the king advances, and he ended up secretly baptizing 5 of the pages who were already catechumens. So
good man.
They had instruction.
On May 26th, in 1885, the Christian pages were all called to the royal court. All refused to renounce their faith and were marched to Namugingo to be killed by being burned alive, dying on June 3rd.
And this is straight out of the early centuries of Christianity. The emperor calls you before him. He wants you to deny your faith. They refuse, and they're sent off to be burned alive.
Yeah.
Yes.
As relatively recently.
The sources that I read that were Catholic sources noted that this was something the missionaries had warned them.
Yeah.
That, if you convert.
Well, again, if you convert, you're going to be given a Bible, and right there in Acts of the Apostles, they did what to Stephen?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So by the end of the persecution, 22 Catholics and 23 Anglicans had all been martyred.
And on June 1920, Pope Benedict the 15th beatified all the Catholic martyrs, and they were canonized on October 18th, 1964 by Pope Paul VI, who in the canonization also remembered the members of the Church of England, because although they're not Catholic, so he couldn't canonize them, he saw that, they were martyred for their faith.
And, we made great ecumenical strides under both St. John the 23rd and St. Paul the Sixth.
Yes, nor indeed do we wish to forget the others who, belonging to the Anglican confession, confronted death in the name of Christ.
Was something he said during the canonization.
Oh, it was a direct quote, yeah.
Yep. Their feast day is June 3rd, and the feast day for the Church of England ones is also June 3rd.
Okay, so on...
Do you know if the Catholic martyrs are honored in the Church of England's feast? Because they tend to take an extremely liberal view of these things. And just honor everybody.
I don't know. I know
That's
in
fair.
both churches there's some other people, like there's 2 Catholics that got martyred in a different thing that sometimes are thrown in, and the Church of England has another person that they throw in with theirs, but...
On to the part where Nate attempts to pronounce words that he has no reason to think he should know how to pronounce these words. But
and we might be mispronouncing Swahili for you.
But we're going to try it.
We apologize in advance. We're not doing this to cause offense.
Nope. We're just trying to provide the best Anglicanization of their names.
Words.
So, the Catholic martyrs were...
The Catholic martyrs were Achilleus Kewanuka, who died on the 3rd of June, 1886.
Most of them did.
Yeah, most.
Yes.
Adolphus Ludigo Mukasa.
Ambrosius Kibuka.
Anatoly Kiriguagajo.
Andrew Kagwa. Who died on the 26th of May. So he was one of those. He was an early one.
Antanasio Baze Kukeka, who died on the 27th of May.
Bruno Sarunkuma.
Charles Lwanga.
Dennis.
I'm glad I landed on that one.
All right, I'm really curious as to how you're supposed to pronounce a double S, but Dennis Sebugwawo Waswa.
Gonzaga Ganza. That's cool.
Yeah. Gyavira Musoki.
James Buza Balyawu.
I really feel like there should be like we should run the names across the bomb so people can see just how
Do we want Jess typing these again?
I don't know.
I copied and pasted just to
Copy
make
and
sure.
paste.
John Maria Muzigi.
Joseph Mukasa.
This one clearly must be the celebrity of them all, as his name is one name. Their name is one word.
I'm pretty sure they're all
all
dudes.
of them are men.
Kizito.
Luca Bana Bakintu.
Yep. Matia Mulumba.
Mbaga Tuzinde.
Mugaga Luboa.
Mukasa Kiriwawa Anvu.
Noah Mawagli.
Ponciano in Nagandwi.
The Church of England also remembers their martyrs of this event on June 3rd, and their martyrs are
Who also died in the name of Christ.
Mm-hmm.
Mako Kakumba,
Yusuf Lugalama.
Nua Zerwanga,
Mukasa Musa.
Eria Mbwa. That one I definitely got wrong.
Mudu Aguma.
Dowdy Muwanga,
Muwanga.
another celebrity one.
See, I think the issue is their first names are their baptismal names that
Yes.
are, their
Well,
variation of
yeah,
various saints.
Charles Luwanga wasn't born Charles. He was baptized.
I'm
Charles.
just
Yes.
saying a single name.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
that's clearly
yeah.
Prince
Yeah.
or it's
or
one,
Cher.
or it's one of the ones
It's
who
just a
got,
symbol.
they got baptized, right before they died and didn't, pick a saint yet.
Kaizi Kibuka,
Mayanja Kitogo.
Noah Walukaga,
Alexander Kadoko.
Frederick Kiza,
Robert Munyang Ab Yanjo.
Daniel Nakabandawa,
Kiwanuka Geanza.
Mukasa Lawakisiga,
Luwanga.
Mubi,
Waswa.
Kwabafu,
Ki Fum Unyanji A.
and Mwanga Nijigia.
Now, like Charles Luwanga, we could get good at most of these with some time.
Yeah.
And hearing it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'd really, we'd really need to just hear it.
Well, I'm a Michigan football fan. I can totally say Tim Biaka Batuka.
Yeah.
Because I've had years of hearing and saying Biaka Batuka.
Yeah.
It's fun to say Biaka Batuka.
And it's one of those
Sounds
things
fun.
where I didn't research how they translated the language to write it into English to know what these combinations of letters that we don't use together is supposed to symbolize for a sound.
Yeah, that's really the issue with pronouncing languages that you don't know is that
As some of those names
We're looking at
had
our
multiple S's
alphabet.
and multiple W's, and I'm like, I know that probably means a sound we don't use.
Like, I'm very familiar with the Vietnamese surname Nguyen. Mm-hmm. However, if I wasn't, I would never get Win out of those letters.
yes. Well, and I've been kind of sort of dabbling in learning some Swedish, and you put an accent over top of a letter, and
You heard that?
suddenly
He's a dabbler.
suddenly a letter that you totally knew and you knew everything that letter does this thing where it's like that. How'd that letter do that sound?
Mm-hmm.
When did an A become an O? I mean,
I like in French when they have a little house.
Things get wild up there in the long winters of Sweden, man.
yeah.
So, we honor the martyrs. We apologize for not being able to pronounce their names.
For Phillip Penna, we hope this has satisfied your need, or if not, we hope you will have something else to torture us with.
Or at the very least, maybe we mispronounced your name, so you got that in.
Well, I mean, what was there a tilde?
No.
So it's not Pena. So Penna.
Yeah, Penna.
You're
Anyway.
welcome, Phil.
Thank you for watching
Sincerely.
and commenting.
And tormenting.
Yes.
Comment below with an area of which you want to know more about saints from. Maybe you want to know about British saints. There's a lot of them, and we can pronounce most of their names.
No, because they're going to come up with, like, Welsh saints.
Maybe,
Welsh is not British.
No, it's totally British.
It's not English.
but it's British. It's on the island of Great Britain.
Maybe they'll pick something Gaelic, and we'll be like, that doesn't even make that sound. How are you coming up with this name?
Yeah, but I'd actually probably like do the research to try and get that one right in the first try.
Maybe,
I would get it wrong, but I would try.
Maybe you know of a saint that exists in the town that's in Wales that has the longest name, and it's a whole big thing where the one news reporter got the name right, and it filled the entire map of the UK.
It's only like 30 letters long.
Don't listen to their suggestions.
Maybe you want to test and see how good I'm doing at learning Swedish.
We did already do at least one major Swedish saint,
But
which we pronounced largely in English. So.
But what you should go and do is hit the like button and the subscribe button and the bell next to it so you get notified when new episodes come out. And make sure to share all this fun with your friends, your neighbors, your relatives, your coworkers. It's really selfish of you to keep this to yourself.
Maybe you know a friend who speaks Swahili or the language that any of these saints' names are in, and they can go and just send us corrected notes.
Mm-hmm. And, get to be friends with Charles Lwanga and all of his companions, including the Anglicans.
By praying for their intercession.
Mm-hmm. And studying more about them.
Yes. And until next time, remember to live your faith.
Love your faith.
Share that love.